Hello, I am Dr. Cheryl Wade. Welcome to the good news. In my last video, I ended by encouraging us all to hold fast to the radical notion that freedom, equality, and justice for all are not merely worn out platitudes, but ideals which together we can make real. I feel your skepticism. I know what you're thinking. These are ideals that won't make it in the world, but I tell you, we can actualize the vision by first dismantling the beliefs and perceptions that hold this current reality in place. Our beliefs have caused us to invest in structures that inherently produce inequality, where freedom and justice are for some, but not for all. This is a bitter pill to swallow, but we can't deny that our beliefs create the structures upon which our culture is founded. And in fact, the fruit of these beliefs are now being displayed openly for everyone who is willing and able to see. And when we look, what we see is that our beliefs are firmly rooted and grounded in the cult of righteousness. This notion that I am superior based on my gender, race, religion, sexual preference, or how I choose to live my life. So we see that it is impossible to create a new world without first perceiving and dismantling this fatal flaw, because the ideology of righteousness is so interwoven into the very fabric of our culture that it is almost impossible to fully comprehend the ramifications of the insidious way it affects every single aspect of our lives, both publicly and privately. So, we've finally come to a state of reckoning where we need to accept accountability for our creations. We are each and every one of us complicit in the current state of affairs because we have accepted the current state of affairs. And we have accepted it because we so want to hold fast to our beliefs and perceptions and keep making the same choices over again while hoping and praying for a different result to the one that we've been getting. But you know what Einstein says? It is insane to expect a different result while making the same choices over and over again. So the fundamental change that must now be made to our beliefs and perceptions is that we must now see with the eyes of love rather than the ideology of righteousness. When we are in the vibration of love, we know that whatever we create in fear will only beget more fear. When we believe that we need to protect ourselves from them, we will unconsciously create over and over again the situations and circumstances that allow us to experience that fear and the need to protect ourselves. So, why is it so difficult for us to feel the pain and suffering of others and of the creatures that are attempting to coexist with us on this planet? Well, it's because we've closed our hearts. The unbearable suffering that we have endured for thousands of years under the ideology of the cult of righteousness has become overwhelming. And so we closed our hearts and we looked with the mind through its lens, and we saw the pain and suffering of others as justified condemnation because they were not worthy and they were not deserving. But the sad part of this paradigm is that we only condemn others because we have condemned ourselves. The ideology of righteousness has made us wrong and broken, has caused us to be ashamed of our humanity, and it has taught us that in order to be worthy of love, we must make ourselves into something other than what we are. This rejection and abandonment was so unbearable that we couldn't allow ourselves to feel the pain, and so We shut our hearts and pretended that this would save us because the mind cannot comprehend that love is the law and love does not condemn. Love does not judge. It is love that causes the sun to shine, the trees to bloom, and the birds and the whales to sing. There is love all around us if we'll just open our hearts. But opening the heart is risky business, and no one does it voluntarily. We think we can open it just a little bit, but that's not enough. We must be cracked wide open. When we are cracked, we feel the pain. It is visceral and in the body, not some intellectual experience. But the reward for being open is that we are now fully alive to vibrate with the fullness and richness of love that is all around us, patiently waiting to be invited in. So, finally, let us admit to ourselves that we are indeed worthy of unconditional love because that is how we were designed, to love and be loved in return. So, until next time, namaste.